It's 6 o'clock and I'm calling the Planning and Zoning Commission of August 3rd, 2023 to order. Can we begin with roll call?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Chairman Johnny Narvaez,
Present?
Commissioner Hector Garcia,
Present.
Commissioner Rolando Cázares, Commissioner Mike Barron, Commissioner Manuel Rangel,
Present.
Commissioner Yushin Huang,
Here.
Commissioner Regina Portillo, Commissioner Daniela Sadapaz,
Present.
and Commissioner George J. Altgeld.
Motion to excuse those that are not here.
And Mr. Chairman, for the record, you have quorum.
Perfect. We do have a motion to excuse those who are not present. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to consider approval of minutes of July 6, 2023.
I move to approve the minutes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carries. Do we have any citizen comments? No, sir. Going to open up the public hearing. Move on to public hearing recommendation of an ordinance. Item 6A, amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by amending ordinance 2020 0062, which authorizes a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol on lots 64 and 65, Block 2, North Creek subdivision located at 1010 East Hillside Road in order to remove Roberto Garza, Berta Garza, owners, and Clarissa Gallardo and Graciela Ojeda, tenant for the Los Comales restaurant, and replace with Erica Carranza and Victor A. Medina as the parties to whom the permit is issued. 2, and amend the hours of operation and square footage.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, we have the applicant Roberto Garza and Bertha Garza as the owners. We have Victor A. Medina as applicant. Property location, lot 64 and 65, block 2, North Creek subdivision located at 1010 East Hillside Road. Zone change request is an amendment of a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol. Proposed use is a restaurant serving alcohol. Letter sent, 41. We have 1 against, and we received 3 others against as well, and then 4. Some background. Ordinance 2017-0-041 was a special use permit, and this was approved by City Council on April 19th, 2017 for a restaurant serving alcohol. On Ordinance 2018-0-168, on November 5th, 2018, City Council approved of a special use permit amendment for a restaurant serving alcohol. For Ordinance 2020-0-062, on June 1st, 2020, City Council approved of a special use permit amendment for a restaurant serving alcohol. Requested SUP amendments for Ordinance 2020 are as follows. The removal of Roberto Garza, Bertha Garza owners and Clarissa Gallardo and Graciela Ojeda tenant for Los Comales restaurants, and replacing with Erica Carranza and Victor A. Medina. The square footage will be increasing to 3295 from 2,502 square feet, and amending the hours of operation from Tuesday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., closed Mondays, to Tuesday through Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. Location view, aerial view, street view, zone change signage, zoning map, future land use map, and the recommendation is staff does not support, and the proposed motion.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody who wishes to speak in favor of this item or in regards to this item, please come forward.
Yes, good evening, honorable board. My name is Roberto Garza, and I own that property on Hillside Road. I'll tell you a little bit if you give me some time. I run a restaurant there in 1994 for 2 years. I sell alcohol and Mexican food, and I never had any problem with it. Then after that, I rented to Koto Sushi, which was the first Koto place in Laredo for 18 years, and they never had any problems, okay? Now, during the pandemic, I had one or two tenants that didn't work very well. But right now we have this Ms. Carranza. She did a very good job. They have a very good service in the restaurant. They're doing very good, honest people. Now they do sell breakfast only, okay? So in order to come up with the high price of insurance, the high price of property taxes that went into effect this year, well, 20% more, I just invested about $35,000 on new air conditioning myself, okay? And it's gonna be another $25,000 for the roof. So we need your help on authorizing this because she needs to extend the hours of operation from selling well rancheros in the morning and stuff like that to sell grilled burgers and fajita, pequeña and all that. And as you know, that Mexican food goes very well with cerveza, you know, so that's why she's asking for that special permit. It's not a bar, it's gonna be a restaurant selling beer, and we need your help into that, okay? She's an honest lady and I'm an honest person. We run businesses and we don't try to harm anybody, no neighbors, nobody else, and don't do anything wrong with the property. So we need your help on helping on solve this problem because we need to survive. I mean, after the pandemic, we lost about 3 years without business. And then I come back and I had to pay a new air conditioning system that cost about $35,000 and then the roof and all that. So, and she needs to extend the hours of operation from Monday breakfast to lunch and dinner. And we need to sell beer like Taco Palenque does and all that. And it's not a bar, it's only a restaurant selling beer. So we need your help into that. Please take consideration of these things. Now, if you want to have any questions for Ms. Carranza, see how you can help us or what can we do to please whatever you want.
Are there any questions from the commission for staff or for the applicant?
Yes, I have a question. Well, it's not a question, it's a suggestion. The thing is that I know there's been a lot of different restaurants in that building, and the issue is the parking. That's number one. And I know in the list that we have here, I know that you said, it says that you're not gonna use the patio, right, area, that will decrease the spaces, and you would need like around 6 or 7 to have the total that the ordinance asks for, right? But my suggestion is, at what time you want a alcohol permit, and right now you only serve breakfast, and you say lunch and dinner, the alcohol permit, do you need it for 5, 6, 7 o'clock? Because I know in that area, you have 3 or 4, right, that are against, you mentioned? 4? That are against a lot of the area there because of the houses that are right next door, right? That is the main concern. It's not our concern, right? So the hours of the alcohol permit that you asked for, is it until 5 or? Because if it's not gonna be a bar and it's gonna be only a restaurant, maybe until 9 or 10 or something.
Well, give us
That-
the longest you can, but I appreciate, let me mention something. We didn't have that many tenants. We only have myself and then Koto, and then during the pandemic, after the Koto left, I had one very bad person, okay, that they want to run a nightclub, and I don't blame you for getting his license off because he was making a lot of noise. He was supposed to have a restaurant, and he was used as a bar. People were getting very noisy at night and all that. So I didn't blame the main neighbor for doing that or complaining because it was bad. These people is a whole different operation, okay? So I think it would be between 10 and 12 at night, just and can keep it moderate, you know, like we use the patio because people need to smoke, you know, and as of right now, the way it is, people go in the morning for lunch, they go outside and sit down with a cup of coffee and smoke, you know. So it's not, the reason you had all those people complaining at that time, Councilwoman, is because because of the noise that the other people were, and they had huge speakers in there. Even myself, as the owner of the property, I was annoyed really listening to that, so.
Well, that would be my suggestion, because if it's not gonna be a bar, because normally like an alcohol permit, when they want it until 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Well, that even though you don't want to open it, there's gonna be noise, you
You
know?
can give us a,
But if it's only for the food, like beer and wine, mimosas, if you have like breakfast or something, that would be my suggestion, maybe like 8 to, I don't know, 9 or 10.
And she told me she want, the reason she applied like all the way to 2 a.m. because she was told you can put whatever in there, but really she doesn't want to be working from early in the morning to 2 a.m. in the afternoon, in the middle of the, at night, you know.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure
That was-
10, 12 o'clock at night, okay, you can get you can give us authorization for that. Now, when I run my restaurant in there, I mean, I had a lot of business for 2 years. I closed it because I do have no business downtown, and I wasn't able to manage both of them. But it was a good business, and I never had any problem with parking because usually people go to those places. They go in a family, 3 or 4 people at a time. So the restaurant is very small. We don't need that many spaces now. We do use. She uses right now the next zone parking. The doctor next door authorized her. She spoke to him this morning, but she hasn't got an answer to sign something. But as of right now, they've been using it sometimes when they get overcrowded. But it's not necessary. But if you suggest that,
Okay.
we can help with that. But we need your help because I mean the investment that we have done in there is a lot of money, and with the new taxes and all that, we need. She needs to work more, and I need to work more too.
Yes, we understand.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just for clarification, we did the calculation of the restaurant without the patio. And we calculate that they would need 26 parking spaces. Currently, the facility has 22. So if they would make an agreement for 4 parking spaces next door, that would comply. And if they would bring that to us with some kind of agreement, that would meet their parking needs if they don't use the patio. Okay? So that's,
Let me just request, I thought it was 40 parking spots.
40 parking spots is with the patio. But in their application, they're saying that the patio is not gonna be used. If they do use the patio, they'll need 40 parking spaces, so they would have to make up the difference.
So they would have to eliminate,
18.
literally eliminate it.
I have a question on the attached exhibit A. It says inside, on-site parking 22, additional parking 25. Where is that additional 25?
In Exhibit A,
Exhibit A, under general notes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that is the total amount of the 40-something, or what?
No,
I don't think those are our notes. The general notes
I think
on
that's
the
the
design.
proposed, I think that's the applicant's
Site plan.
site plan. So,
If we go by our numbers, they would need 18
That-
spaces,
Okay.
extra.
I would propose to the applicant to bring back the agreement that you're going to be allowed to use extra parking and to meet all the ordinance requirements so that we can better assist you.
Well,
But I don't know, does
so
that would, why would that count in somebody else's property? Oh, I'm gonna borrow your parking spot.
there is an ordinance
Is
that
there?
allows for that, within 1,000 feet of a business. So if they bring a lease agreement or something like that, then that would comply with the ordinance. Now, the action that we're looking at today is to approve the restaurant serving alcohol. That would be the action that you all would be taking. And then when they come in for the building permit, they'd have to comply with the
Comply with
parking.
it.
That's when they're gonna have to prove the parking and have the lease and that information. So, but at this moment, right now, what's in front of you is approval for a liquor license. I'm
Chairman,
sorry, not a liquor license, a special use permit.
Mr. Chairman, I echo Mrs. Salapaz's concern about the hour of operations. I definitely feel more comfortable if 11 o'clock, I know the pre-existing special use permits that were granted were at 11 o'clock. And now they're asking for 2 o'clock, and I just think that given the location and, they are gonna serve beer, And, I mean, she said she doesn't want to work till 2 o'clock in the morning. So there's something I would suggest that maybe they consider
Yeah.
11 PM
Yeah.
as a stop time. I think that would go a long way towards kind of calming the fears of the neighborhood and of us.
¿Sí compromete usted a las 10 o qué?
Sí,
¿Estás bien
sí comprenden lo que dijimos o no.
Sí, está bien.
O sea, que número uno, ahorita estamos viendo lo del permiso de alcoholes, ¿verdad? El permiso de alcoholes, entendemos que si es algo para comer o una cerveza o acompañar la comida, mi sugerencia era de que fuera de hasta las 11, no hasta las 2 de la mañana, porque si tú tienes un permiso de alcoholes a las 2 de la mañana, aunque ahorita vengas y nos digas que no vas a abrir el patio, pues probablemente puedes abrir el patio, ¿verdad? Entonces yo decía como que más o menos si es para lo de la comida, porque anteriormente ya lo habían tenido y tenían muchos problemas con los vecinos. Y aunque te lo den, pueden venir los vecinos a reclamar y te lo pueden
De
suspender.
hecho, yo puse ahí que no voy a poner música afuera ni nada. O sea,
Sí,
es nada
sí.
más para la gente que va a fumar
Y,
realmente.
y por eso mismo te reduce el espacio de estacionamiento, o sea, perdón, no el espacio, se reduce el número de estacionamientos que necesitas, porque es por pie cuadrado. O sea, si tú calculas todo el pie cuadrado del restaurante más el patio, necesitas 45 estacionamientos. Si tú quitas el patio, necesitas 26. De esos 26, tú tienes 22.
Tengo
Por-
28.
No, ¿verdad? ¿Tiene 22?
Vas a necesitar 26.
Vas a
Hoy
necesitar...
tenemos 28.
28.
Sí.
Aquí en el mapa
Contamos 22 aquí.
están 22. Entonces vas a necesitar o algo por escrito del vecino, ¿verdad? Que te dé oportunidad de estacionar ahí cuando se necesite.
Y si están mal los estacionamientos, si tenemos realmente los 28,
Estás bien.
Estás bien. Sí,
Pero
Sí.
todavía queda la cuestión de las horas de
pero
operación.
todavía
no
queda...
importa, si es a la medianoche. O sea, es que yo pregunté hasta qué horas podía y me dijeron, tú lo que tú creas.
Ajá.
Yo le puse lo que yo
Ah,
creía. Pero si no, si es hasta las 10, 12, no me importa. O sea, el chiste
Nomás
es que
con
desde
tenerlo.
temprano podamos empezar a generar.
Por eso era mi sugerencia. Ok.
Gracias. This is a public, thank you. This is a public hearing. Anybody who wishes to speak against this item, please come forward. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Your name for the record, please.
My name is Raquel Barrera, and I have lived on 4827 Patio Lane for the past 39 years. In the past, we received a notice, okay, for this alcohol permit. And we have had very bad experiences in the past with 2 previous restaurants, Cayo Hacha and Comales. They would play music, very loud music until 2 o'clock in the morning. We just couldn't sleep at all. It was chaos. It was a torture. Y como dice el dicho, ¿verdad? Ni a su peor enemigo se le desea eso, no poder dormir uno en paz en su casa. Ahora, yo no estoy against alcohol serving, no. Our concern is music outside, because once they start selling, consuming alcohol, they're gonna open the patio like they have done previously and start playing loud music. I mean, we are good citizens, good law-abiding citizens. We pay our taxes, our dues, and it's very, very chaotic, it's being there without having, a good sleep. Always, that's very loud music, and that's our concern. We just don't want to go through that. It was really, really bad. So that's the only concern we have. Once a permit is allowed, we just don't want to go through that again. It's really, really sad, going through that. Now, like I said, since the 1980s, it's been a very quietful neighborhood. We never had any problems before, never, until these so-called restaurants came and they turned out into club like entities. And please, 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 I hope that you support us in this great issue, because we don't want to go through that again. It was a torture every night until 2 o'clock in the morning, hearing that very loud music. Please, we don't want to go through that again.
Ma'am, if I may, have you had any noise issues with the current restaurant?
Oh, no, not at all. No, we're
And how would you
perfect.
feel if they agreed to limit their hours?
Sorry?
How would you feel if they agreed to limit their hours as was previously discussed?
Okay, with these hours that they have, the present business, it's okay. I think they're open until 3:30, something like that, or 4 o'clock. But if this other place is gonna be open until, like they say, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, and they start selling alcohol, they're gonna sell alcohol, I mean, they're gonna be, I don't know, we're gonna be with the same problem as before.
There was a proposal that if they closed at 11,
Well, as long as they don't play music outside, that's our concern, that bad, loud music. I mean, there were times que retumbaban las paredes de la casa, retumbaban like a bass sound, una cosa horrible. No, era out of, I don't know. Por eso, ay, por favor, please, please, I mean, bear with me. Y no se lo deseo a nadie de ustedes, pero es una cosa horrible, horrible cuando abusan de esa manera, que no respetan, and it's a residential area. I mean, we're just across that business, I mean, that place. So please.
There's two, there are some limitations, and one of the suggestions, like Commissioner Wang mentioned, was to reduce the hours down to 11 p.m. was one of the suggestions. Also, something that's mentioned here is that outdoor music is prohibited. So there is no outdoor music allowed in the patio.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. So if you were to look at number 7, it says outdoor ambient music, so that would have to be scratched out and then put music prohibited in the motion, if that's
In the
way you wanna
motion?
go. If that's the way you want to go. Okay.
Comment number 7?
Since outdoor music is prohibited, no speakers are allowed, and there shall be no ground vibrations created. That's what you're talking about already?
Outdoor music is prohibited, that's what it says.
Where,
Yes. Since
Says in
number
the,
7, outdoor music is prohibited, no speakers are allowed.
That's what it says. Outdoor music, it's in the, where it states of the
Okay.
comprehensive plan.
all right. I
On
was
the
reading
bottom.
the old one, sorry.
Yes, on the bottom.
So they, okay.
So it is listed there.
I just hope
yes.
that they go by that, because the previous owner said, no, we're not gonna have outside music. And what did they do? They disregarded, and there was this
I recall.
loud music.
Were the owners before that selling beer?
I'm sorry?
Were the previous owners
Yes.
selling beer?
Yes.
Yes, that's the main problem. Once they start selling beers and open the patio outside, that's when the problem starts. And it's a torture, it's a nightly torture. I mean, not being able to sleep in your own home. I mean, you want peace. I mean, restaurants have music indoors, and that's fine. But when they play the music outside, it changes the whole story. So please, please, I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Are there any questions for staff?
No.
If not, what sort of action would the commission like to take?
I make a motion to support the recommendation from planning, from the office, do not support this selling of alcohol. Personally. I do not support what's recommended by.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Garcia to support staff recommendation on not supporting the SUP.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna have to abstain.
So that's 2?
So it's
2 yeas,
2-2.
2 yeas.
So, show of hands, how many yea? And how many nay? So it's 2-2.
So
So there's a motion.
Motion failed.
Right, yeah, the motion fails.
Motion fails.
So you can entertain another motion, or it can just go to council with the deadlock situation.
then go to council.
Is there another motion, or would you like to just leave it at that?
Get the council.
For them, the council too.
gonna go the same way.
It's the same thing.
We'll report that, and then if
That it would
council
be-
approves, But we're looking at, music prohibited.
Correct. And the hours of
11
operation.
o'clock.
Music
Correct.
prohibited and the alcohol
And,
permit
and, and,
until
and something
11
about the
o'clock.
patio, I mean,
Well, if you're gonna remove the patio, you literally need to remove it, not just put do not come in.
Yeah.
Just knock it down where there is parking.
or just,
So if they want feedback, we'll.
But let the council decide that. Thank you.
We're now moving on to review and consideration of the following master plan. Item 7A, review of the revision of Cuatro Vientos Sur subdivision master plan. The intent is residential, commercial, and multifamily. The purpose of the revision is to eliminate the connection from Blanca Lane to Cuatro Vientos Road and change the land use of Phase 12 from commercial to residential.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is 4P Holdings, engineers Porras Nance Engineering. Proposed use is residential, commercial, and multifamily. The zoning for this 951 lot development is R1, R1A, R1B, R1MH, B1, and B3. Location view. Aerial view. Proposed master plan. Comments from planning? Fire? Traffic safety, parks and leisure? And the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Wayne Nance with Porter's Engineering. We agree with all the comments that staff has except for traffic and safety. Item number 1, we would like to have that stricken. We were in communications all day today and yesterday with the director of the traffic department, and he agrees that extending Bianca is not possible due to elevation differences. We're going to work with the city staff during the one-stop shop to find ways to reroute local traffic to the south, but Bianca, as it stands, will be terminated where it's at right now. So I can speak.
Yeah, so basically what happens is, if you were to look at the land and Cuatro Vientos, the difference is 40 feet,
Yes, good.
about 40 feet. So in talking to the traffic, we're looking at maybe bringing the street down, because you're literally talking about the street going up to a highway and then trying to make that turn. So for safety reasons, we're looking at that. So they're bringing it in because on the master plan, it shows that it goes up. So we're making an adjustment to the master plan and rerouting that street.
Okay.
You're in agreement with the recommendation?
Yes, actually, I was.
Yes.
Part of that.
Yes, yes.
Are there any other questions from the commission or comments? If not, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve with eliminating the number 1,
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner
Traffic
Garcia.
safety?
Traffic and safety.
traffic safety, yes.
1, and a commission by Sada Paz.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7B, review and consideration of World Logistics Park Master Plan. The intent is industrial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is TDB Land Holdings, engineers Topside Civil Group. Proposed use is industrial, and the zoning for this 51 lot development is not applicable as this tract is located in the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. Proposed plat.
Entonces.
Comments from planning? Fire? And the proposed motion.
Thank you. Engineer record.
So, Mr. Chairman, on this one of the issues we had was our thoroughfare plan shows a road going through this property. In this design that you see here, he does not reflect that. Earlier today, he called us to show us a design, which I believe he's gonna present. And that design does incorporate the thoroughfare plan road through it. And so we like the idea, but we just were presenting with that this afternoon, so he just wants to show it to you.
Okay.
Good evening. Ricardo Villarreal, Topside Civil Group. representing the owner. So this, let me move it a little bit up, okay. So before, on our master plan that you see in your packet, we had this road looping here. After reviewing with the planning department and the client, the thoroughfare plan did have a road connecting to I-35. That is a major road there. It's a 120-foot right-of-way. So these past 4 days, we've been going back and forth, and the client has agreed to bring that road in here at 120 and tying into I-35. So this is the new layout with the road that planning wanted us to implement in there. So most of it stays the same, other than just this road being now coming through from the neighbor. And I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
It's from the neighbor, but full build out would take it all the way to Mines Road.
To Mines Road, yeah.
Eso es lo que iba a decir. Va a salir al Mines Road, ¿verdad?
So there's really only two landowners here. Our track and then the track just west of us, and that's roughly about a 6,000 acre track.
A la altura de que está, está entre,
So here, roughly,
Mile marker 17.
mile marker 17, but just, it's probably about 3/4 of a mile to a mile from the Ruthinger tie-in at
okay.
I-35, north of that.
okay.
Would that handle planning comment one?
Yeah, so, we agreed to, I guess, yes, we agreed to the comments. Just for the record, I wanted to show you what the layout was gonna be like.
Okay.
What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve,
Subject to comments?
subject to comments.
We have a motion by Commissioner Salapas,
Second.
second by Commissioner Wang. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Moving on to consideration of the following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. Item 8A, the preliminary consideration of the plat of World Logistics Park Phase 1, the intent is industrial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, applicant is TDB Land Holdings, engineers topside. Proposed use is industrial, and the zoning for the 7-lot development is not applicable as it's in, this track is located in the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning. Fire. And the proposed motion.
For the record,
I was thinking the
Ricardo
same thing.
Villarreal,
Phase 1 and phase 2.
Topside Civil Group. This is phase 1 of the development. Phase 1 is not impacted by the new master plan because the adjustments were done on the south for the road. So we do concur with staff's comments.
Okay. Any questions from the commission or comments? If not, what sort of action?
Motion to approve subject to the comments.
We have a motion by Commissioner Wang,
Second.
second by Commissioner Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8B, preliminary consideration of the plat of World Logistics Park Phase 2, the intent is industrial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, applicant TDB Land Holdings, engineer topside. Proposed use is industrial, and the zoning for this is not applicable for this 4-lot development. Is not applicable as this track is located within the ETJ. Location view. The proposed. Comments from planning. Fire, and the proposed motion.
Thank you.
For the record, Ricardo Villarreal, Topside Civil Group. This is phase 2. This is on the southern part of the master plan. There is a small adjustment because we did on the previous master plan, we had a road coming down to tie into this road that we thought was gonna tie in down here. Because we moved the road up and, this road got eliminated, one lot had to get a little bit bigger so that we don't leave a lot without access. So the southern lot, Lot 2, grew a little bit in size on that. Other than that, everything else pretty much stayed the same. It kind of worked out in a way. Again, if anybody has any comments on there. Also for the record, the municipal utility district has been signed off already by TCEQ this past week, so that's already went to fruition.
Any questions or comments?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve, subject to the comments.
We have a motion,
Second.
second by Commissioner La Paz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
But should we say A and B, because we saw phase 1 and phase 2? Oh, no.
This is the water.
This is the big, this is the one, okay.
She already did.
Moving on to item 8C, preliminary consideration of the replat of the Whataburger number 741, the intent is commercial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is Whataburger Vallis. Engineer is Dawson Engineers. Proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for this one lot development is B4. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The as platted and the replat for Whataburger. Comments from planning? And the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just to let you know, the engineer wasn't able, he's out of town, he won't be here, but he concurs with comment.
Okay.
And what this is, bringing in more parking area.
Okay.
So what do we do?
You can.
I make
You
a
can
motion.
Motion to,
The motion,
Yeah.
Subject
We
to
can make
comments.
motion, subject to
Motion.
comments?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have a motion by Commissioner Rangel, we'll give him an opportunity.
Second.
And a second by Commissioner Commissioner Rangel, motion, subject to comments, and a second by Commissioner La Paz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8D, preliminary consideration of the plat of lot 35E Rancho Benitas West Unit 7, the intent is commercial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is Alberto Esteban Ortiz. Engineer is Alfredo Guerra Engineering. Proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for this one lot development is not applicable as this tract is within the ETJ boundaries. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning? And the proposed motion.
Thank you. Is there engineer record here?
Is it, which one is it?
No, it's D. Do we have an update on this one from the engineer?
This one?
Yes.
We didn't receive any.
Okay.
Just one comment for
Sure.
for that line where it says, the zoning for this one lot development is not applicable, as this tract is within the the ETJ. The county does not have policing authority of zoning. So when we talk about the ETJ, they follow construction requirements the city has, but we don't establish a zone because it's in the county. So that's why you see that comment there. So the county doesn't apply zoning use, but the city does. But this is outside the city limits.
Okay.
Just thought I'd let that know.
Open back,
they're not here to,
No, sir, not
they're
here.
not.
I would say table it. If they can't come, we should to table.
Second.
We have a motion to table by Commissioner Garcia. A second by Commissioner La Paz. Is it time certain or just table?
Do time certain for the next.
For the next meeting.
Time certain.
When they can make it.
Correction, motion to table time certain by Commissioner Garcia, second by Commissioner La Paz. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8E, preliminary consideration of the plat of Grupo Inmobiliario 2.0 acre tract. The intent is residential multifamily.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For the record, applicant is Grupo Inmobiliario Salinas. Engineers Ramos Engineering. Proposed use is residential multifamily, and the zoning for this one lot development is R1. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed plat. Comments from planning. Traffic safety. And the proposed motion.
Thank you. Engineer record.
Good evening, Francisco Ramos with Ramos Engineering, here representing the owner. We concur with all the comments that we had in the, if you guys have any questions, we can answer.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? No, what sort of action?
Motion to approve the recommendation.
We have a motion by Commissioner Garcia.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wang. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Moving on to item 8F. Preliminary consideration of the plat of Lot 4, Block 2, Alexander Commercial Subdivision, Phase 15. The intent is commercial.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, applicant is D&J Alexander Investment. Engineers Premier Engineering Surveying. Proposed use is commercial. The zoning for this one lot development is B3. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed plat. Comments from planning. Traffic safety. And the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. For the record, Sergio Narvaez with Premier Engineering representing the owner, and we are here to answer any questions maybe you have.
You concur with all the comments? You concur with the comments?
Yeah, we concur with the comments, yes.
Motion to approve, subject to comments.
We have a motion by Commissioner Salazar.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rangel. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. We do have an email on item 8G for requested table. Is it table time, sir, or just table?
Yes, table time, sir.
So may I have a
I
motion?
make a motion to table item G, table time certain.
We have a
Second.
motion by Commissioner Rangel, second by Commissioner Salazar. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8H. Preliminary consideration of the plat of Verde Creek subdivision. The intent is residential.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, applicant is Verde Corp. Engineers Porras Nance Engineering. Proposed use is residential. The zoning for this 157 lot development is B1. Aerial location view. Aerial view. Street view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning, fire, parks and leisure, and the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman. Wayne Nance, Porterhouse Engineering. We agree with all the comments. I just wanted to clarify item number 1 under fire. We met with Chief Rubin earlier this week, and it just says cannot allow further development, but we're going to be working with him, as they pointed out, further below. But we're going to be working with him for a secondary access during the one-stop shop, and we'll resolve that.
Chief, yeah.
Yeah, Ruben Dominguez, Fire Department. What they originally submitted does meet code, and the master plan shows multiple exits. The only problem is that these are probably in the distant future. So we did meet with the engineer, and there's a couple of utility, access easements that they're gonna use to provide a second temporary access until these further punch outs are in place. So they're technically, going above what the code requires.
Perfect. Thank you.
I also reached out to Mr. Nance to try to schedule a meeting with the landowner, and so that we could discuss some options for this.
Okay.
That was passed on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Me. Just to reinforce that there's gonna be 700 homes, and they only have one entry and one exit. And that's the only thing. We need to ensure that we have an extra exit. I know Mr. Navarro has been speaking out to you for that, but that's the only thing that I wanted to clarify.
Of course, understood. We are reaching out to the owner on Mr. Navarro's behalf.
Okay.
We'll be having a meeting with him very shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.
What sort of action would the commission like to take?
Was motion to approve subject to comments?
We have a motion by Commissioner La Paz.
Second?
Real quick comments. Should the option, to approve with the recommendations, approval of the fire department's concern be part of that?
Absolutely.
So I would say the same thing with just to make sure that they follow through on number one,
Okay,
because it's a real big concern about that.
okay. Motion to approve reinforcing
Fire comment.
planning,
Fire.
planning comment.
Fire comments.
But it also states in planning comment number 1, see additional comments from fire below,
Right.
and then comment of fire number 1, right?
Yes, so we have a corrected motion by Commissioner La Paz,
Second.
second by Commissioner Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Against, motion carries. We're moving on to consideration of the following final plats and final replats. If there's no objection by staff or commission to hear items, yes.
Yes, if you can please table item 9B.
9B, as in boy?
9B,
Okay.
time certain.
Can I have a motion to table?
Motion to table 9B for time certain?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Can I now hear items 9A, can I have a motion to hear items 9A, C, D, and E?
Motion to hear 9A, C, D, and E together?
Second. Motion by Commissioner La Paz, second by Commissioner Rangel. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. And then can I just have motion of action on items 9A, C, D, and E?
Motion to approve 9A, C, D, E.
We have a motion by Commissioner Garcia, a
Second.
second by Commissioner Sabas. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Moving on to consideration of model subdivision compliance, consideration of the model subdivision rule compliance for the, I'm sorry.
You gotta read them, right?
Yes, could you please read?
Apenas iba a decir.
Sorry.
Yes, for the record, the items that were approved, final consideration of the plat of Southeast Commercial Subdivision Phase 1 at Buena Vista Ranch, approved. Final consideration of the replat of Lot 1, Block 1, Killam Industrial Park, Unit 16, into Lot 1A, Block 1, Killam Industrial Park, Unit 16, approved. Final consideration of Killam the Coves Billboard Number 3, a plat, approved. Lastly, final consideration of the replat of all Lot 5, Block 2, Pinto Valle Subdivision Phase 1, and a tract of land conveyed by deed to MG Alpha LLC, Omega LLC, PG Indigo, and 501 Imperial Partners LP into Lot 5A, Block 2, Pinto Valle Subdivision Phase 1, approved.
Thank you. We're now moving on to consideration of model subdivision compliance. Item 10A, consideration of the model subdivision rule compliance for the plat of the Coves at Winfield Phase 10A. The intent is residential. We just need some sort of action on the commission on this one.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Commissioner Rangel,
Second.
second by Commissioner Sabas. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Staff reports.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, every year, City Council's presented the capital improvement plan for the city of Laredo. Part of the process is to present the capital improvement plan to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So with us today, we have Mr. Ramon Chavez, the city engineer, who will be presenting the capital improvement plan to you for action. Is this an action item? I don't think this is an action item, I think it's just a presentation.
No lo tenemos nosotros aquí.
It's coming.
En el B.
Yes, ma'am.
That looks fancy.
Thomas has been working for the last 30 minutes to get this ready.
Don't go there.
Chávez.
Go there.
Don't go there.
Regáñalo, Chávez.
Honorable Chairman and members of the commission, thank you for having me today. Ramon Chavez, City Engineer, and we're glad to be here to present before you the capital improvement plan FY 2024-2028, and just give you a brief overview of next week's presentation as part of our budget meetings, which will be held, I think, Tuesday through Thursday. So we'll be here presenting this, and this is just an overview. I also, with me, I have Mr. Jesus Esparza, who's a budget director, and Evelyn Gomez from our staff, who've been working very hard along with our departments to put this together. So the capital improvement budget, again, this is the city's annual appropriation for capital spending. And it's legally adopted by the mayor and city council, and that's part of our budget workshops that will be held next week. Again, this authorizes specific projects and appropriates specific funding for those projects. The capital improvement provides legal authority to proceed with those specific projects. This assists in identifying, planning, acquiring property, financing, and those are all the things that staff works together along with mayor, city council, management, and the departments, again, to uphold the city's vision. That says city needs, promote financial stability, new construction, expansions, renovations, reconstructions, etc. And again, major maintenance items. These are some of the major accomplishments in the past FY 2023. Los Presidentes Arterial, which was opened up earlier in the year, connecting Cuatro Vientos Loop to Brownwood Street and providing a secondary exit to the residents of Concord Hills. The Springfield Avenue Extension, Phase 3, which there was a ribbon cutting ceremony yesterday, and now you're able to travel north on Shiloh, connecting all the way to Divine Mercy Park. And if you get a chance to go through there, that is a model project of what our city's future roadway extensions will look like. A very nice project. The resurfacing of 386 city blocks by our Public Works Department, the World Trade Bridge Fast Lane Relocation Project, Freddie Benavides field improvements of concession stands, restrooms, and the outfield fencing, the McPherson right turn lane at Fenwick Drive, and improvements on North Central Park ADA playground. So some of the goals for FY 2024 include the extension of Concord Hills from Los Presidentes to the sports complex, which you will see breaking ground here very soon. We've already awarded all the permits. You'll start seeing some earthwork in a week or two already for that project, a $45 million project that's coming. The Plaza Theater renovations, which we have an item on this Monday's agenda to award the design of that Plaza Theater renovation. CDBG Corpus Christi beautification, which is underway, 4 blocks from Cedar Avenue to McClellan Avenue, currently under construction. Market Street elderly affordable rental housing on Market Street and Sanders, which you already see some of those structures going up as we speak. In Arturo M. Benavides Memorial Park splash pad, which is under design. The next phase of Springfield Phase 2, which will be now from Shiloh going south to International, and that is already under design. We expect to have plans and let that project at the beginning of 2024. And the Southern Hotel rehabilitation, which we had a pre-construction meeting earlier this week with the contractor that was awarded that. So this is the proposed 2023 CO bond that we're going after. We're looking at $40 million just for projects and capital outlay. Also $16 million for solid waste improvements, and the airport $1.7 million for a total of $57.7 million. These are some of the funding source summary that we have. As you can see there,
the proposed CO of 40 million, the airport, proposed solid waste bond, along with grants, system revenue, TxDOT, Texas Wall Development Board, developer contributions and unfunded projects from utilities and TxDOT. This is the department total summary of 2.9 billion over the next 5 years, as you can see it there. Starting from 2024, 992 million, 2025, 918 million, 2026, 517, 2027, 202 million, and then 2028, 274 million for that 2.9 billion amount over the next 5 years. In a nutshell, this is a summary by categories of FY 2024. And as you can see, a lot of mobility infrastructure, 75%. And that is due to all the overpasses that will start construction here in the next few months, beginning of next year. Talking about the overpass on Del Mar Boulevard, the overpass on University Boulevard, on Shiloh Boulevard, and Jackman Boulevard. So that it's a total of 992 million, the department summary by categories. As you can see there, aviation, transit, facility, public safety, and district priority funds, which this year it's been proposed that each council member gets $250,000 along with the mayor. And that's my presentation in a nutshell. Like I said, it's just a brief overview. The entire 300-plus package can be found online under the Budget Department's website under Proposed Capital Improvement Program 2024-2028.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Chavez or any comments?
I have a quick question. I saw that in the first year, you're estimating almost $1 billion. That's a third of the budget. Right? Why is it so front heavy?
I'm sorry?
The budget is like almost $1 billion in the first year. Why is it so front heavy? Because it tapers off to 200 million.
It's just based on the departments. Each department has a program, projects that are being proposed from airport, bridge, not only what we're proposing under the CO bonds, but systems revenue and other department grants. And at the end of the day, that's where that all the departments put together, that's how that amount comes about.
All the roads and mobility, everything is
Everything
bumped
is
up.
included in there, and for all the departments.
1 year?
For all the,
2 years, that's 900.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like,
Yeah.
the first 2 years, it's
Is
gonna
it the
all
building
happen in
of
first
the
2
overpass and all that that TxDOT is doing, is that part
a
of
lot of
that?
that is.
That's the front heavy because they're already working on it
They're
now.
gonna start real soon.
That's why, because I would imagine the next 2 years.
That's right.
Because it's 998 and 900 something in 2024 and 2025. That's pretty much the construction of all the overpass.
That's all there.
Y ahí también entra Ruthen, el HR Ruthenberg, ¿o no?
HR Ruthinger
También entra ahí
sí.
con los 80, quién sabe cuántos, ¿verdad?
Thank you.
Okay. Yo sí tengo algo para ti, que te quiero ver más seguido, que no vienes. Y luego siempre, a ver, los comments, o sea, nadie viene a vernos, nadie.
Voy a buscar más tiempo para
Ah,
estar
no.
aquí presente. Se nos acaba el tiempo. a
Ya
veces.
sé, ya sé.
Just a quick question, public safety, why so little if everything is going on all over the place?
I think that percentage comes down to that because of all the transportation projects
Yeah.
that we have, so it makes it look small.
Shrinks it.
Yeah, but that's something that we'll look at to maybe present it a little bit better because that's not
It doesn't look
exactly-
for, yeah,
Yeah.
2%
right.
of it, yeah.
Correct.
Plus,
Good work.
plus a lot of that, for the safety and stuff, is grant driven.
Right,
So you get a lot of grant money.
It's not in here.
That's not.
part of that.
Makes sense. It's not capital improvements.
I know the water and wastewater is 9.9%. Is that pretty much appropriate, or should it be a little more than that?
No, that some of it is still unfunded, and they're gonna be looking for some of that bond money as well. I know they've already acquired some of that money for some projects that are already in the works as part of the master plan.
Okay. Well, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you more often.
Now you know where we're at. Now you know where we're at. Every other Thursday. It's every other Thursday.
No nomás una vez al año, dar el capital improvement program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Direct,
So the action would just be an action of recommendation to the council.
so it is an action?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, can I have action of recommendation?
Action of recommendation
To city?
to city council.
Second.
So you have a motion and a second. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Good
Director's
job.
comments?
No, sir, no comment.
No? No
Really?
comments?
Really?
Motion to adjourn?
Got a
No more
motion?
signs either?
No more signs.
No one brought a sign for me today? No one up there?
did it. Motion.
All in favor?
En la perdida
Second.
también.
supplied them with the sign.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Yeah, there we go.
También la perdiste.
Thank you, guys.